Well, it's so hard to change, as we started this conversation, is because 95% of who we are has been programmed. So the first step to change is becoming so conscious of your unconscious thoughts that you don't go unconscious to them again in your day. And the hardest part about change is no longer making the same choice. And when you decide to make a different choice, get ready, it's going to feel uncomfortable. It's going to feel unfamiliar. There's going to be a lot of uncertainty, a lot of unpredictability, and most people just return back to the same choice because it feels good. And if you're going to really change, you're going to have to pay attention to how you speak and all the habits that keep you behaving as if you're in your past. You'd have to avoid certain experiences with certain people and certain conditions in your life. We've all done this. I need a break, get away from my environment. And you got to decide that does this feeling of anger, this feeling of hatred, this feeling of frustration, this feeling of resentment, is this loving to me? I mean, is this working for me? And those feelings or emotions are a record of the past, right? So the word meditation means to become familiar with. So you got to become so familiar with, so conscious of your unconscious self that you don't go unconscious to yourself in your waking day. So the person who has a chronic health condition, they have to change their personality. And it's the overcoming process that has to be combined with the becoming process. You know, the belief is just a thought we keep thinking over and over again. And the belief is that you can't heal. Well, that's your belief. Well, if you want to truly change, you got to change that belief. And it's not easy because you got to remember to think differently. You got to keep remembering to think differently over and over again so that nerve cells that fire together begin to wire together. And that thought is becoming hardware in your brain. Keep repeating it. Keep assigning meaning that if I have this intention, and with attention, I keep thinking this way, sooner or later it'll be the new voice in my head. Okay, how am I going to behave with my ex, with my coworkers, with my children? If I'm truly going to heal my health condition, I can't behave in the same way. I can't react in the same way. Let me close my eyes and rehearse in my mind how I'm going to be with my coworker that I resent. Because this resentment is making me sick. Okay. So now all of a sudden it becomes super practical. So the act of closing your eyes and rehearsing an act, when you're truly present, the brain does not know the difference between the real life experience and what you're imagining. The brain is looking like you already did it. Looks like the experience has already happened. There's been great research on this. Now the brain is no longer a record of the past. Actually, it's a map to the future. So you're installing hardware. You keep remembering to behave this way. Your behaviors will match your intentions, and you'll do something differently. And that different choice and that different act will create a new experience. And then what is the emotion that is loving to you? Let's practice feeling this emotion. So much, if I have to practice in my meditation to feel this way over and over again so I can feel this way on command and start opening my heart. If a person does it over and over again, they'll become familiar with that new emotional state. They'll become familiar with a new way of thinking and a new way of acting. So most people try to create a new personal reality by being the same personality, and it doesn't work. We literally have to become someone else.